Welcome everyone. Welcome to my video. So this presentation is about AWS IAM, compliance and data protection. Three very important topics that form the foundation of cloud security. So this concept help us understand how AWS keep data safe, how we manage who can access what, and how AWS follow global and standard to build customer trust. This presentation is prepared by me, Akash Patel, student at Concordia University, Chicago, under the guidance of Dr. Govindaswamy. Let's begin by learning how AIM works, how AWS ensures compliance, and how we can protect it effectively. So, in cloud computing, two important parts of security are access control and compliance. Access control means deciding who can use what. Compliance means following rules and standards to keep information safe and private. In AWS, the service that helps with access control in IAM, which stands for Identity and Access Management, it lets us manage permissions for users and applications safely. So AWS also follows AWS global compliance standard like HIPAA, SOC, and GDPR, which help protect data across the world. By learning IAM and compliance together, we get a full picture of how AWS maintain both safely and trust for everyone using its services. So let's move to the next one. So IAM is a very important service in AWS that helps you control who can access your resources and what actions they can perform. For example, you can create user for your classmates or coworkers and give them specific roles like one person can view data, another can upload files, and another can delete resources. IAM helps keep control organized so no one accidentally does something they are not supposed to. This system makes sure every user only has the access they need for their job, which helps prevent accident or unauthorized activity. Using IAM correctly is one of the best way to maintain security in your AWS account. So let's see. There are four maintained parts of IAM that work together: user groups, roles, and policies. Users are individual people or apps that use AWS. Each one can have their own login credentials. Groups are collections of users with similar permissions. For example, you can put all your developers in one group and give the group permission to manage code. Roles and temporary sets of permissions that can be used by applications or other AWS services. Roles are very helpful for automation and avoiding sharing passwords. And policies are documents that describe exactly what actions are allowed or denied. All these together creates a strong and flexible access management system in AWS. So let's see principle of least privilege. One of the most important security ideas in AWS is the principle of least privilege. This means gives users the smallest amount of access needed to do their work, no more than that. For example, if students only need to upload files, they shouldn't have permission to delete entire database. By limiting access like this, you reduce the risk of mistakes or misuse. Following the least privilege rules helps keep your AWS environment organized, safe, and easier to manage, especially in group projects or teams. Let's see the MFA, multi-factor authentication. MFA or multi-factor authentication adds another layer of safety beyond just password. It works by making asking two things when logging: your password and a code from your phone or email. Even if a hacker find your password, they can't get into your account without that second code. This simple step protects your account from most common attacks like phishing or stolen credentials. AWS recommends enabling MFA for every IAMA user and especially for the root account because it's one of the easiest and most powerful way to secure your account. Let's see the AWS compliance overview. Now let's talk about AWS compliance. Compliance means AWS follows international standards and law for data protection and privacy. Some of the major compliance program AWS follows are HIPAA for healthcare, SOC for uh, auditing and control, ISO 27001 for security management, and GDPR for European data protection laws. This certification shows that AWS system meet the strict rules set by government and industries. This helps customers trust AWS with their sensitive data and ensure that the cloud meets both legal and security requirements. Let's to understand this better, let's break down a few examples. HIPAA stands for Health Insurance Probability, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. It protects personal health information like medical records and ensure hospitals or healthcare apps stores in safety. SOC stands for Security Organization Controls. Its set of audits that checks how AWS handles security and availability and privacy. GDPR stands for General Data Protection Regulations. It gives people in the European Union control over their personal data and how companies can use it. AWS follows all these frameworks so customers can safely store sensitive or private information in the cloud. These programs prove that AWS takes data privacy and legal compliance seriously. Let's see the data protection in AWS. Data protection in another major part of AWS security. AWS provide tools that allows you to encrypt data both while it stores and while it's being transferred. Encryption change data into unreadable code that only authorized user can decode it. For example, when you upload file to S3, you can enable encryption so no one can see them. AWS also AWS also offers automatic backup for secure services like RDS database, so you don't lose important information by accident. By using encryptions and backups, you make sure your data is always safe, private, and available when needed. Let's see one of the best thing AWS does in build customer trust through transparency. AWS openly shares its compliance reports and certifications so user can review how their data is protected. Businesses can use these reports to show their own customers or regulators that their applications are safe and compliant. This openness helps everyone feel confident about their using AWS, even as students understanding how AWS earn trust uh, through compliance teach us how big companies keep customer data secure while following strict laws. Let's see some common mistakes. So let's look at some common mistake people make in IAM and compliance. One mistake is given everyone full admin access. That risk always follow the least privilege principle. Another mistake is forgetting to turn on IMFA. So how you can fix this makes account easy target. So always enable IMFA for all users. A third mistake is ignoring compliance requirement. So every company must meet certain rules, so checking AWS compliance documentation regularly is important. And finally, so user don't encrypt their data. Encryption should always be turned on for sensitive information. Fixing these mistakes builds safer and more trustworthy system. So let's recap what we learned. AWS IAM helps manage who can access what in your account, keeping everything secure and well organized. Compliance ensure AWS meet global data protections laws and industry standards, which build trust with users. Data protection in AWS relies on encryptions, backups, and strong access control. Using tools like MFA, IAM, and encryption together creates a strong security foundation. When we follow these steps, we can confidently say our AWS environment is safe, compliant, and professional. That's it. Thank you for watching this presentation on AWS IAM compliance and data protection. If you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel to support my AWS learning journey. This presentation was prepared by me, Akash Patel from Concordia University Chicago, under the guidance of Professor Dr. Govindaswamy. A very big thank you to my professor for clear teaching and continuous support. You have truly inspired me to make AWS learning simple and understandable for others. Thank you again for watching and see you in the next video on the AWS well architecture framework.